Hello everybody, my name is Paris and I am here to share some uplifting and then some empowering information to help you feel better in your body, clearer in your mind, and more connected to your heart. So today's topic is about which oils to cook with and which oils to avoid cooking with. So I really encourage people to cook with saturated fats. And saturated fats are going to be a lot more stable at higher heats and therefore less likely to oxidize and become rancid and turn into possible trans fatty acids. So examples of these are coconut oil. Coconut oil is phenomenal. It's mostly a saturated fat, meaning that, again, that it can withstand the higher temperatures that it's exposed to when you are cooking with it. My other suggestion is ghee, which is clarified butter. It's really popular in India, and this means that the milk solids have been extracted from it, and so it doesn't have a lot of lactose in it. So it's really great for people who are lactose intolerant, or maybe not lactose intolerant. Coconut oil would be a better option, but who are just wanting to reduce their lactose exposure. The next oil that I encourage people to cook with is organic butter, and I will really emphasize organic and even encourage you to take the extra step to get pasture raised. So this is ensuring that it's going to be the highest quality and the most nutrient rich. And again, all of these are saturated, mostly saturated fats, meaning that they can stand the heat that they're exposed to and they're not oxidizing. Other really good fats to consider cooking with is animal fats, duck fat, also leaf lard are examples of some saturated fats to cook with. What I will emphasize there is that they're coming from really quality sourced animals, so that it's grass-fed beef, or it's free-range duck fat, or organic. Like, all of those really matter, and they matter for many different reasons. One of the reasons that I'll address right now is that when an animal is exposed to really harsh living conditions or medications and different drugs and antibiotics, then a lot of the toxins that it is that's circulating through the body of the animal get stored in the fat of the body, and then we extract that fat and use it in our cooking, and then inadvertently we're exposing ourselves to those toxins, which totally sucks. So we definitely want to be supporting really qualitative and in integrity animal welfare practices. What we want to avoid are seeds, like cooking with industrial seed oils as well as industrial vegetable oils. They're very unnatural. So this example is of corn oil, canola oil, safflower oil. These all are really high in omega-6 fatty acids, which disturbs the unique balance of omega-3s to omega-6s, which then can contribute to inflammation in the body. Canola oil is, it's a really interesting discussion because canola oil is so incredibly manipulated. It mostly comes from Canada, and it's this bright yellow flour. And what they do is they take the seeds from it and they crush the seeds, and then they heat them, and then they deodorize them, and then bleach them. And so it goes through so many different processes in order to get this final result that is in an oil form. And it's often genetically modified, and there's, that's turns into a whole other conversation. But when it's genetically modified, that means that it's often been sprayed with copious amounts of pesticides. And so that's a reason why, in and of itself, that we would want to avoid genetically modified food. It's also a hydrogenated fat, and our hydrogenated fats, the body doesn't really know how to process hydrogenated fats. It's very unnatural, and then that, of course, inadvertently is going to be fueling the fire of inflammation. And inflammation, something that we're recognizing about that is that it is a real common denominator to most modern diseases. So when we can sort of address the inflammation, then we can get to the under root of what's happening, and then the symptoms just begin to naturally clear up. So to not fuel that fire of inflammation, we want to avoid the industrial seed and vegetable oils, and we want to support eating more with saturated fats, or cooking with saturated fats, and that again is going to be coconut oil. If you don't like the taste of coconut oil, then I encourage you get the refined kind, or try butter or ghee. Again, organic is going to be really important. A note on olive oil. Olive oil is okay to cook with. It's not my favorite. It does have a lot of antioxidants that does keep it relatively stable during lower heats, but definitely not a high heat oil to cook with. And another note there is that it is mostly a monounsaturated fat, meaning again that the heat can begin to disrupt those fatty acids and they can begin to oxidize. And when they oxidize, that's when we are exposing our body to more free radicals, and then that upping in free radicals can then really begin to initiate again this cascade of inflammation. So takeaway here is to definitely cook with mostly saturated fats. So coconut oil, ghee, which is clarified butter, organic butter, really quality animal fats. And then we want to avoid cooking with and really using in the diet anywhere canola oil, safflower oil, corn oil. A lot of these are marketed as high heat oils, and I just don't think that's true. I really, really don't, and I think that they really need to be avoided in general. If you do want to continue using olive oil but don't want to cook with it, which is something that I recommend, we want to use it after cooking, after you've exposed your food to heat. So that will ensure that you're getting all of those antioxidants and that you're also getting the fat in store intact. That is actually really, really going to be very, very beneficial for our body. So I hope that you learned something in this. Feel free to comment in the comments box and tell me what oils that you use and how it is that you are supported by this. And I hope that you have a really wonderful, grounded, nourishing, deep breaths kind of day. Aloha.